It's not every day that I get in front of a camera and talk about a movie, but this movie is just... I will not address the movie I just saw as Fantastic Four for three reasons. One, it draws no similarities from its source material whatsoever. Two, it's not fantastic, to say the least. I'll get into more detail, but it's not good. And three, it's advertised as Fant Four Stick. Fant Four Stick. Yeah, it's not even advertised as Fantastic Four. So Fant Four Stick is a reboot of the movies we got in 2005 and 2007, and is ironically the fourth attempt to try to get Fantastic Four off the ground and into the Marvel world of pictures, although Marvel doesn't even have the rights to this movie. Fox has the rights, which you can tell it's quite a different production team than, let's say, Ant-Man. So, first of all, let's start off with the positive of the movie. What did I like? The casting was okay. The casting was... They got really good actors like Miles Teller and Michael B. Jordan. I know those guys have talent, but it's like they just had nothing interesting to say in this movie, so I couldn't enjoy their acting talent because, let's just say, they didn't bring their best work. So, this movie, overall, it's just... So I sat down in this movie and I was like, okay, alright, I'm ready for the Fantastic. Let's get it. Fantastic Four, alright. Waiting for that Fantastic. And an hour and 40 minutes later, I was still waiting. Yeah, that's right, I said it. An hour and 40 minutes. This movie is incredibly short, but honestly, I wanted it to end sooner. It's just that bad. It's like they've spent no developing time in the process. They've spent nothing in this movie. It's just... The greatest flaw of this movie is that it's just plain boring. Nothing in this movie is eventful or interesting or makes any sort of sense. And the second biggest problem I have with this movie is it's just not only that it's boring, it's just that as soon as the four get their powers, you'd think I'd be more interested, but no, I just got more bored because it took the four a whole hour out of an hour and 40-minute movie. It took them a whole hour to get their powers. That was a huge problem. So I couldn't enjoy it, to say the least, and it was this boring, I just couldn't... Okay. As soon as they get their powers, the film cuts a year into the future where they can see they clearly have the hang of it. But the problem is the four they don't feel like a super team. Every single member has their own agenda, and they're in their own islands of isolation that you don't feel like they're a team by the end of the movie. And that's just... It was horrible. The third worst thing about this movie is the visuals. The visuals are just a mess. They're sloppy. Like when the Human Torch is flying and everything, I'm like sitting back like, I know PlayStation cutscenes that look much better than this. And that's a problem. That's a huge problem. The only thing that's as bad as the visuals is the acting themselves. None of the actors have chemistry whatsoever, and it looks like they got a lot of great talent together, but working around a horrible script, so the actors didn't get to show their talent. And of course, I'd be a fool not to mention the worst depiction of a comic book villain since sewed up mouth Deadpool in X-Men Origins Wolverine. Yeah, you comic book fans out there, you know what I'm talking about. It's just Doctor Doom, or you know what, I won't even call him Doctor Doom, because he wasn't Doctor Doom, he was Psycho Killer Ex Machina. He comes on the scene in the last 20 minutes of this movie, and they stop him in like 10 minutes. So, did he feel like a huge threat? Did you really feel like this movie had a lot of stakes going for it with the final battle? No, you didn't. Just horrible villain. He had his development was just horrible from the ground up. Like, just from his first scene, you see Victor is being recruited for the space project they're all collaborating on, and they're saying, okay, Victor, we need you on board for this. And he's like, I don't know, the world's gonna burn anyway. So he's just like a very pessimistic dude that you don't even feel like you know him that well to begin with. So it's just horrible. This movie is so horrible. I have to say, I gotta choose this movie over Fantastic. You know, yeah, this movie that every comic book fan has on their shelves because they found it for $4 at the back of a Kmart somewhere. This movie is better. This movie is better than Fantastic. At least with this movie, they actually feel like a family. They introduce better family dynamics. In this movie, they actually feel like a team, no matter how goofy it might look. And it's an extremely goofy movie. Guys, overall, I gotta give Fantastic half of a star out of 5. Not even a full star. When I think of the positives of this movie, when I walked out and I was like, okay, what's good about this movie? Honestly, I just thought of shots from the trailer that didn't even make it to the final cut of the movie. This movie's so bad, the director discredited his work. The day it came out on his Twitter page, he said, I had a better vision for this movie a year ago, but you guys won't get to see it because Fox, you know. And it was taken down from his Twitter page 2 minutes later, but, you know, screenshots are forever. So, please just don't watch this movie. Go see Ant-Man a second time. Go see Mission Impossible. Just please stay away from this movie. Alright guys, thanks for watching my first video review. If you liked it, please share or comment or any other suggestions for movies that you want me to review. And I'm out for now.